Hi guys, it's David here. I noticed today that in my Neocolor Caran collection, the violet and the purple and scarlet are not being used up as much as the other colours because I've been doing a lot of um, landscapes and things like that. And so I thought it'd be nice for a change to use up those colours, and I thought the best way to do that would be to actually draw some jellyfish. Now, I've never drawn jellyfish before, so it's going to be a new thing for me. To start with, however, I need to create a base colour that would be the sea. So I'm just going to paint a light blue at the background, which obviously the colours will layer on top of. And this is going to be using watercolor, very simple watercolor which you'd find in any school classroom. These are cheap watercolors, and I have no idea where I got them from. However, the brand is Hobbycraft Art. There you go. So I bought them in Hobbycraft, which is an art shop in England. I'm not sure if you have it in America. And you buy very good art supplies there. There's a very big range. You can buy all the big brands like Prismacolor and Aquarelle and yeah, all the companies sell their pencils and pens and stuff there. Crayola also is there. Um, Mostly student grade is sold there. There are some of them do sell professional gear. It's also a shop that sells like sewing equipment and things like that. Machines as well are sold there to help you with your art. Card cutters. So right now I'm just using this brush to get some kind of sea effect, and that's why I'm doing different layers of color, but also because these particular paints are not as vibrant as, you know, the aquarelles, I've had to put lots of layers down to cover up. Also, I'm dipping a lot of water in for this. So when I get the aquarelles on top of this, you'll see how vibrant the aquarelles are. Nearly done, guys. Don't want to waste too much time on the background, but I have to put some kind of background down. And a lot of these art channels actually do this before they start filming, but unlike those channels, I do actually like to show every single step of the way. Also, I don't trace anything, and I don't use a light box to show what's on the screen of the computer, so you don't get to see a cheated version of painting or colouring in. I do think that a lot of tracing is cheating. Do I think all of it is cheating? If your assignment for school has been to trace, then you have no choice. But as a rule, I think all tracing is cheating. I was taught it in school, so I can't knock the art teacher. There we go. So there's the background done and out the way. And just going to let that dry for a few seconds, because it only will take a few seconds because they're cheap paints. And already in here, you'll see this is where I've been taking the paint from and dipping it heavily in water, and it's nearly completely dry. So that's how cheap it is. Right, so wait for this to dry for a second and then get on with the drawing. So I'm going to draw a number of different jellyfish and see where it takes us. It's nearly completely dry. Let's try drawing a jellyfish on top of it right now and see how it comes out. Yes, see? Dry. Completely dry. As I said, this is my first jellyfish, so there is something wrong with this jellyfish. Let's see if I can correct it. The problem is that they're all supposed to meet in the center at the end of the fish, and I didn't do that, and that's why the jellyfish looks weird. However, the next jellyfish I draw will be better, as with everything when you first start. Okay, let's do some shading of said jellyfish. And jellyfish aren't all the same colour, so let's put a little bit of yellow into there as well. And notice how it doesn't go green, and this is because first of all, the background has already dried, and secondly, the watercolour I used was absolute rubbish, whereas this new watercolour I'm using, sorry, the aquarelles, which is also watercolour, are extremely good and have vibrant colour over the top of the blue. So that's something worth mentioning when you use a mixed media like this. Okay. Also, usually you get a bit of merging between the colours, which we're not seeing so much right now because I'm not adding any water yet. However, if I was to show you to add a bit of water on top of this, I need a tissue for that, and there it is. Go on, I need to wipe that down a bit. So yeah, that's the problem. It wasn't a clean brush. See if I can clean it up a bit. There we go. So, jellyfish number 2. Let's go for another one. Let's go for a red jellyfish over here. Right, here we go. There's the mushroom cloud that we expect. Okay. Let's not make any problems with this one. get some white out of this. Right, here we go. See how much better that one is. We're getting better with the old jellyfishes. So what did I do differently? I didn't mess them up like that one, like a child. Now I just need to include red ones in the middle here. Yeah. And I use a little bit around the outside like this. And then I bring in more colours as it goes in. Because that's what jellyfish do. They're a land of colours. Darker colours on the outside. And lighter colours as we go in. Let's try colouring these, painting these in now. Okay, here we go. There we go. So this is the better jellyfish to this one for the fact that it has the colour is merged correctly. The strides look good, the tentacles, and I suppose I could add an extra colour into this tentacles. Let's put a yellow in, and it would still look good. Make sure you go all the way down. Don't just stop here because you think, oh, that's not going to no one's going to notice that, because they do. And there we go. And note how I haven't painted these. I've kept these as crayons, but I've painted the top. That's the beauty of the aquarelles, is that you can actually paint some and not paint others. If I do a blue one, for example, on top of blue, it would still work. So here we go. Here we go. So I'm going to just do that, and then I'm going to create like a cloudy effect on this one. What if I was to paint the whole thing blue, like this, but then add white to the middle one, make it a much lighter blue. There, like that. I can still do the tentacles, which would be great. Even if I sway out a little bit like this, and then come in, as long as I follow the same pattern with this one, it still works. And I can sway out like that at the end. There we go. Follow the same pattern, simply. It's getting too thick, so I'll flip over. Different type of jellyfish. Okay, so now I'm going to create a big effect here. Okay, now I'm going to use a bit of water, just a touch of water. Still got some yellow on the brush from earlier. Makes no difference because these are jellyfish. See that? And it merges in, so it doesn't look like it's straight lines all around. There we go. Now, just change colour slightly. Maybe put in more yellow again. And I can still make it look like a good jellyfish. Always likes to put a nice bright colour in the middle. Maybe that was one of the problems with the other jellyfish I had. I could probably redeem the other jellyfish now, to be fair. Let's do that. It's not an exact science, especially when you made a mistake, because then the brain likes to look at it and think, oh, that looks nice, so let's do an orange one down there too. Yep. Okay, and the only thing we've got left now is this outside line which is causing problems, and I'm going to get rid of that now with a little bit of water. There we go. The paper is getting a bit crinkly because it's not the best watercolor paper out there, unfortunately. But it has resolved the situation with the jellyfish. It doesn't look very good. I'm going to try another type of jellyfish just creeping in here so it shows it's not just some on a page. There we go. A dome-shaped one. Tentacles. Another dome underneath. Like this. There we go. A little bit more. Kind of looks like a burger. And then streaks go in like this. There we go. There we go. And I'll colour in. Put purple spots on it. Put some purple tentacles into it. and then we're colouring this bit here. Right. Add some water. Add some more spots. And there we have a new jellyfish at the bottom there. So there you go, folks. That's the test of aquarelles on top of a pre-painted water paper. And did it work okay? Well, not really. Not as well as I'd hoped it would. The problem was that the water had already been affecting the paper. So even though the watercolor underneath here was dry, it affected the way the aquarelles sat onto it. It wasn't as well. You got all the, even though I've tried to paint over it, you can still see now it's dried, the outline of the paint, the crayons. So it wasn't that great. It's a bit of a pain, really. I would say in this kind of medium, Caran Neocolor 2 don't work so well. On a different art sketch that I did yesterday, this one, it worked really well because I hadn't already laid the paper down. There are a few things when it's dried where we've got this effect coming across here. It didn't look like that when I first painted it. Now it's dried and it's had a bit of a day to it. Some of the paint has gone a bit funny, which happens when it dries, which is a bit annoying. Haven't got examples of another one, unfortunately, to show you to hand. So there we go. That's it. So the negative is it doesn't always look the same once it's dried. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed this, and if you did like it, subscribe if you want to see more videos. Definitely write comments and tell me what you think. All right, bye bye.